We're reporting from the crew lounge, which is a prefab building set on the edge of the flight line at Tan Son Nhut Air Base in Vietnam. I'm Air Force Sergeant Percy Brown, and I'm talking this afternoon with Major Robert M. Horsky, who is a member of the 309th Air Commando Squadron stationed here at Tan Son Nhut. The Major's mother, Mrs. Laura J. Pasica, lives at Methwick Manor in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Major Horsky, to get things started, would you tell me a little bit about your job here in Vietnam, please?
I'm the Squadron Operations Officer in the 123 Air Commando Squadron, 309th Air Commandos. I'm responsible for scheduling all the crews to the assigned missions for airlift here in Southeast Asia, and I also fly as often as I possibly can so that I'm up with all the problems and the incidental things that come up in the operation here throughout the command.
Would you tell me, please, in a little more detail about the C-123 airplane and about these resupply missions that your unit flies, sir?
Well, here in Vietnam, a lot of the outposts are at jungle strips that are inaccessible due to the VC controlling all the roads and the canals and so forth. So most of the supply that these special forces receive have to come by air. And most of the fields, like I say, are unprepared strips just cut out of the jungle or part of a mountaintop leveled off. About the only airplane over here that is capable of resupplying these outposts is the 123. We land in the what we call the assault strips, and most of our job is either dropping supplies by parachute if we cannot land at the outpost, or delivering supplies by assault landing at these unprepared short strips.
They tell me that between the Viet Cong ground fire and the weather that is prevalent over here, that it's a pretty difficult job sometimes.
Well, the airplane is quite slow in this modern age of jets. However, we usually fly above ground fire or small arms fire until we get to the destination where we let down for landing. Most of the hits that we are taking are in the pattern or in the landing configuration or taking off out of these outposts.
How long have you been serving here with the 309th, sir?
I've been here 5.5 months now. I'm almost halfway.
During that length of time, you've probably had an ample opportunity to form your opinion of the Vietnamese military people and how they approach their mission and how proficient they are and so forth.
I have a great deal of respect for the Vietnamese. We haul their troops around quite a bit. They are well trained. We drop them as paratroopers. We haul them from one base to another during the battles that are going on. They seem to have high morale. They are good fighters. I've talked to several of the American advisors that work with these troops, and some of the stories they tell me are quite outstanding for any military man.
The headlines in the newspapers at home lately have been carrying a lot of information about student demonstrations, one thing or another, against this war in Vietnam. What's your reaction to that?
Well, there's been quite a bit of talk about that over here. Naturally, it's real disturbing to everyone over here. Personally, it shows to me a lack of self-discipline. I think that it appears to me that a lot of these people just have nothing else to do and that they're looking for a way to pass their time. I'm sure if they were over here and could see the conditions that are prevalent over here, that they would certainly have a different outlook on this whole action.
Well, Major Horsky, I know that you have certainly something to pass your time with. So at this point in the game, I'm going to thank you very much for taking time out from a busy day to talk to us. To tell the people that we've been talking for the past few minutes with Major Robert M. Horsky, the son of Mrs. Laura J. Pasica of Methwick Manor in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The Major is serving as operations officer and an aircraft commander with the 309th Air Commando Squadron, part of the Pacific Air Forces here at Tan Son Nhut Air Base in Vietnam.
On December 11th, 1965, Jan's dad, Robert Horsky, a major in the U.S. Air Force, killed when the plane he was piloting struck a mountaintop in the fog. His funeral at Arlington held nearly 15 years later.
I remember the riderless horses and the boots stuck in backwards. That was the thing that I remembered the most. And then the whole procession through Arlington and the gun salute and the band and then the folding of the flags, or the flag that was over the casket. And it was just, you could hear a pin drop. It was so quiet. And then they handed me that flag, and it was just really, it was very meaningful and touching at the time.
Over the years, Jan would come to the wall.
We'd come down a lot of times late at night because nobody else is here. The tourists aren't here, it's quiet, and it's like we're with our dads because their names are all on the wall. And we've been down here at times when it's, some people will be crying at the wall, lighting a candle, other people, we've played down here. I remember the one year it rained and we were sliding up and down on the cement, and it was like we were playing in front of our dads.